Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it has been a minute since we have spoken, but there have been some things that have come up that are very important and I can't wait to share with you. So I have recorded this video a couple of times. The vibe never felt right, so here I am again recording this for the third time. As you know, I was doing a Haunted Castles of series based in the UK for starters, and then I eventually wanted to move into Europe and then go into haunted places in America, hopefully for this time, aka Halloween, October. The last time I posted was, I think, the middle of July or the first or second week of July, and we very quickly, soon after that, on July 19th, found out that I'm pregnant. So everything halted. The world seemed to stop. We were shocked. We were not expecting it. But what can you do? So we just took some time and told family and some really close friends. And because we are a couple who do enjoy a cocktail every now and then. And now my friends would be like, why aren't you, having a glass of wine with us or having a beer? And I'd be like, oh, well, because I'm pregnant. So we did that. And then first trimester symptoms kicked in at about week 5 and 6. And I'll go into that in detail in another video, because what this new series is going to be about is unexpectedly expecting. So I never thought I would ever be a mom. I always thought that I was going to have my fur children and that was it. I would have been okay with a kid if my husband and I got pregnant, which we are now, and we are super excited and we are so happy. But it's a process, especially when A, you're not expecting, and B, you're not planning to try. And a lot of mommy vlogs or labor and delivery vlogs or infertility stories, which are so inspiring to me on here, nobody really talks about that. From what I've found, the moms who were kind of, and the parents who were just thrust into parenthood. I know that there's never a great time to have a kid. You can be as prepared as you want and you're never prepared. Totally get that. I understand. However, when you're really not expecting it, it can be like, whoa. Because let me be honest with you, pregnancy grossed me out, and having a child come through and or out, cesarean, just does not thrill me in the slightest. So I was very much, I don't think that's for me. And I had totally planned to be a woman who would be childless. I was gonna travel and live my life and not have kids. And my husband and I were totally okay with that. He's like, if we have kids, we have kids. If we don't, we don't. And for a lot of people in our family, my parents, were like, I don't think she's ever gonna have kids, because when she was 14 and she was watching TLC's Baby Story with her sister who loves kids and has a kid, she started to cry and said, I don't want that, when she was 14. So that's how not into this whole thing I was. Now, of course, fast forward, I am pregnant. I am now 16 weeks along. We're having a baby boy. We're super excited to meet him. Could not be happier. Things change. However, there is definitely a process you have to go through. And I think any person who gets pregnant has to go through this process. A father, partner has to go through this process of, whoa, okay, especially with the first one. Like, second one, you know what you're getting into. First one is kind of like, it's a lot. So, whoa, we're losing our independence. We're losing our freedom to go places whenever we want to pick up and go. We are not going to be able to travel to the places that we really wanted to travel to, where you don't live your life anymore for yourself. You live it for your child. Totally understand, totally get. However, again, when you're not ready or in that mindset, you really have to take a few weeks during that first trimester and really process the whole thing. So I wanted to do this vlog for people who feel non-maternal, because let me tell you something, I feel so non-maternal. I'm so terrified of dropping my own kid. I'm so terrified of doing the wrong thing, because for the first, X amount of years of his life, my husband and I have to keep him alive. That's a lot of responsibility, but we are more than happy and willing, and we are so in love with him now. And honestly, there's a part of you that switches on when you find out you're pregnant, I think, that immediately goes into protective mode, which I hope is kind of like the maternal starter kit, because I've never been maternal. If it doesn't have hooves or fur and toe beans, not really maternal. And my mom did in-home daycare for the first 15 years of my life, so I was inundated with kids from newborn to school age, so there was always crying babies and vomit and diapers, and I've changed them all, and it's like I just didn't want any of that. So this is going to be really interesting. I wanted to make this vlog so that people who weren't expecting, who are now expecting, or who were expecting to be childless, or planning on not preventing but not trying, and whatever happens happens, and then suddenly you're in my situation where it's like, oh, okay, we're pregnant now. It's okay to have those feelings of, I wouldn't say regret, but just, the heaviness of responsibility, the mourning of your independence. I had to mourn my independence. There was a week, I think week 7 or 8, which I'll get into in another video, I was super depressed. And I was literally just in the grieving process, and my husband was like, what's wrong? And I had to tell him, I'm just grieving, because we had places we wanted to go to travel to that we're not going to be able to now. We'll be able to when he's older, which is fantastic. I mean, we'll be able to go to Disney with a 5-6-year-old who will enjoy it so much, and we'll be able to enjoy it ourselves, and we'll be able to experience that as a family, and we'll be able to go to the UK and, visit family and, travel and that sort of thing when he's older, and he can understand history and appreciate why we're going, and family and things like that. So it's just a lot to take in. And another thing that I learned through the first trimester now to the second trimester of pregnancy is what pregnancy actually is versus what you think it is. I think every woman has an idea of what pregnancy is, but until you go through it, you have absolutely no idea. I'll be the first to admit that I thought I knew what morning sickness was, what hormonal shifts were, how frequently I would be peeing. All that went out the window. A lot of misconceptions about the whole process of pregnancy. As a career-driven person, that first trimester really knocked me on my rear, because I had morning sickness that presented itself more as just annoying hunger nausea. I wasn't sick that often, thank God. I only threw up 4 times, which I consider very lucky compared to all my girlfriends who have had girls and were extremely sick in the morning. And I was just really, really fatigued. So as somebody who likes to work long hours, is really attached to writing, attached to her work, attached to her creativity, attached to creating content, it was really hard for me to take a step back and realize, you need to slow down, you're baking a human. You need to focus on yourself. Eat what you can eat, because let me tell you, I was like, I'm pregnant, I'm gonna eat all this healthy food, my baby is gonna be so healthy, blah, blah, blah. That all goes out the window because you eat whatever the heck you can get down, or what you don't gag at. So that quickly changed, and I'll go into a whole misconception video of somebody who was completely clueless about pregnancy and actually experiencing it later. It really did a number on my career brain, because I have pregnancy insomnia, which is not fun. So you sleep when you can, and you go to bed later, and you wake up later, which for somebody who likes to keep a schedule is extremely hard and difficult. But I've learned to adjust, and it's gotten a little bit better. Certain pregnancy symptoms that I never expected. Ragweed season is upon us right now in Dallas, Texas, and I have really bad allergies when it comes to like ragweed. When you're pregnant, your allergies can either get really like worse or better. My sister's got better, mine have gotten worse. So I've been living with a sinus headache for the last 5 days, and it's something special, let me tell you that. I cannot wait till we get our first cold snap in Texas, because I'm ready for the ragweed to die. Ooh, I'm just ready. Oh, I know all my friends are too, who aren't pregnant. My husband too, we're all suffering from ragweed, so I know I'm not the only one. But pregnancy symptoms they don't tell you about. Runny nose, stuffy nose, sinus pressure, bloody noses. Did not expect that. I am so excited to meet my son. I'm 16 weeks, so I can start feeling him fluttering and everything like that. I go into my doctor's pretty regularly, once a month, and next month is the 20-week scan in November, so I'm super excited because my husband can actually be there with me. Because of COVID, he can't be at every single sonogram with me. So the first sauna we had was 6 weeks. He was there. The next sonogram I had, he was not there. I didn't even realize I was having a sauna. They just were like being nice to me and were showing me my baby. And so I was able to work it around, so they were able to give me the pictures to show him. And then the next 2 appointments after that, we were able to have the handheld Doppler, and I videotaped the heartbeat, because we weren't able to hear the heartbeat together at the same time, so I definitely wanted to videotape the first time of getting the heartbeat on the Doppler. And now this time, he can finally go with me. I'm due March 30th, so next spring is gonna be super busy and super intense. I'm really excited though. As someone who never thought she would be a mom, and as someone who never even thought she would be a good mom, I am very shocked and surprised with how excited I am. I am super excited to meet him, to hold him. Not so crazy about the whole labor and delivery part, but so long as I can get an epidural and it'll work, I think I'll be okay. But yeah, I am definitely very protective of him, because he's in me right now. So I get to protect him for the first 9 months of his life, and that's a big responsibility, but I wouldn't have it any other way. So I just wanted to make this vlog unexpectedly expecting, because there's a lot of wonderful things about pregnancy. There's a lot of wonderful things about labor and delivery and having your baby on your chest for the first time. For people who aren't expecting, or who weren't planning, or suddenly found themselves pregnant, there's a lot of things that go through your mind. There's a lot of things that emotionally you go through. And so do people, women who, who get pregnant and are expecting. There's still a lot of emotional things to go through. But I really wanted to focus on the moms who never thought they would be moms, or don't think they'll be good moms, because you're not alone. I think every mom has a fear of not being a good mom. But I think some people never think they're going to be a mom, and they are, like me, pleasantly surprised when you find out something like this. So I really hope that you will come along with this journey. I don't plan on making this a super long, like, family vlog. I don't plan on doing much past postpartum care and the emotional aspects of postpartum. I just would rather it be a complete vlog from beginning to end of just the process of pregnancy, my feelings on labor and delivery, feelings on postpartum, how to cope, you know, those sorts of things. Because I have other content that I would like to discuss on the channel, like nerdy things that I love, but right now this is super important to me and I think could be super helpful for others out there. So from me to you guys, one love.